Night on the Block with Jen. Good to see you all here. Tonight's topic is spicy. I welcomed everybody. I said all opinions are welcome. You guys are also welcome on the panel. Just some things that I've been observing. I'm sure you guys have been observing too. Before I go another feather, don't forget you can help Mama keep the street lights on if you hit that Cash App on the Block with Jen, scrolling at the bottom. You know, we got to get the bills out the way. We got to get the business out the way. I keep telling you, women are transactional. Okay. You're not believing me? Women are transactional. Throw a couple chips in there, you got my full attention. Now, someone did Gmail me what my favorite flower is. Listen, I'm a girly girl. I like flowers. However, cash trumps flowers. So if you want to do something nice for me going into the new year and going into my birthday, cash will suffice. Okay? On the Block with Jen Cash App. Although flowers are nice too, but they die. Okay? All right. Cash is forever, baby. All right, guys. So Lily, Haran, anything you want to tell the people before we get into this? Any fluff or anything? Saturday night, we're going to relax. We're going to talk about some things. We're going to yell about some things.
Um, One of my friends have a request, not from us,
Oh.
but from the accuser. She said this is messing up her mental health. That every time she opens her phone, someone else is being accused of something. So what she would like everyone to do is get together and compile a list or a spreadsheet and release that list all at once. It's messing with her mental health. That's all.
I get it and I understand because now when you open up your social media and you see a celebrity's picture, you automatically knee jerk thought is either the person died or they did some criminal activity. So I completely understand the sentiments of your friend. Trust and believe. Yeah, it's getting a little strange out here. Haran DeMarco, anything for our people this evening?
Um, Nothing on my end. No Jack Fabian. I don't play the drums. I play the guitar, the bass, the piano, the organ. I produce and compose and blah blah blah. The only thing I don't play is out of what you just heard, I don't play the drums.
Okay. All right. I see Kari. What's up? Kari says, I guess that's Kari's fluff. He said Gloria Velez says Luke groomed her. That's Uncle Luke, right? Is that what they used to call
Yeah.
him? Back then? Uncle Luke. Okay.
Well, he became Uncle Luke later in life.
Okay.
What?
So,
He
and
was
Gloria,
Luke Skywalker.
he was who?
Luke Skywalker.
That was his name, Luke Skywalker?
He went by a
That
few
show
aliens.
that show lasted like two episodes. A podcast.
Oh, yeah, the show?
Anything that shit.
Before we confuse people, you talking about Gloria Velez's podcast.
Yes.
Gloria Velez is a video chick like, Melissa Ford, Bernice Burgos. She's in that crew of video chicks that got pretty famous back then, right? They're still on Instagram doing their thing and their thongs, you know what I'm saying? Doing their little, arching their back still to this day. And Melissa Ford is on a Joe Budden podcast. Very, very lucky for her. They actually, gave her a job. Otherwise, I think she would have been like Bernice Burgos and Gloria Velez, because that's what she was doing before the Joe Budden podcast, as I can recall. She was just posting pictures and things like that and hopping around podcasts, right? Because before Budden, she was on, who was it, Lily?
Hollywood Unlocked.
Hollywood Unlocked. Okay, so Gloria Velez did have a podcast, and even though it was being promoted and pushed by Vlad TV, it just did not take off. And it's evidence that you can't just cam up and talk. A lot of people, we've seen them come and go. Because they think all it takes is camming up, turning a light on, and sitting here, right? Some people, no matter how beautiful they are, and these women are attractive. Gloria Velez is attractive, and Melissa Ford is attractive to y'all. It takes more than that, right? It takes.
Hey man, come on.
It's Saturday night.
The fuck? That's a sick. Pretty girl.
Listen, okay. Well, Haran, you co-signing my sentiments. That's an attractive to y'all.
Anyway, got it.
Okay, so I'm just saying, we're saying the same thing here. So Gloria Velez did try to podcast under the umbrella of Vlad TV. He tried pushing her. He was posting those clips. They didn't stick. Gloria Velez, attractive woman, Amazon, big tits, ass, all of that. But she just didn't have the sticking power for podcasts, which is fine. It's just not her lane. Her lane is something else. Maybe, I don't know, acting or whatever. Yeah. So Gloria Velez has revealed in the storm of all these sexual assault and sexual allegations and sexual harassment lawsuits that have popped up in the month of November. Now Gloria Velez is breaking her silence because, you know, she's the baby mama of the very disgusting Aaron Hall. Well, she says that Uncle Luke Skywalker, that other piece of shit, groomed her at age of 16. She posted her high school ID in her stories, and she said, I looked like a baby. So letting people know that she looked very young when they allegedly started grooming her as a 16-year-old child in high school, right? And she named names. She wasn't vague, like I'll be sure and a couple other cats that are trying to put their, you know, bid in and being vague. She literally said Luke. Okay, she named names. So we'll see, you know, where it goes from here.
She's in the same spot. I'm assuming she's probably in the same spot financially and notoriety wise as Superhead was many moons ago, which means she ain't got shit to lose. So expect names to be named and locations to be located. It's going to be a lot of specifics going down when that woman talks.
Oh, that's interesting. Kari said that Luke said he'll countersue.
Countersue with what? What are you going to say?
Right.
Did he do it?
Does he? I mean, if she has proof,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean, of some sort of proof, some sort of evidence, because at the end of the day, as they say, you know what I mean, in the great cinema that was Training Day, it's not what you know, it's what you can prove.
Right.
And that's why Cassie got the payoff.
Right. The good thing about the only thing I see on Gloria Velez's side is that, lucky for her baby's father, that
is an animal.
He's an animal.
Fucking alligator.
Lucky for her, she has countless videos that she can, you know what I mean? I mean, she can just call her friend Vlad up and be like, hey, you got them videos where Aaron Hall said he grabbed me at age 16 and fucked me and took me and said that he fucked other women and showed Devontae and Jodeci and Puffy, everybody. All she has to do is call her boy Vlad to start that lawsuit or whatever. And I'm sure Vlad will gladly give her information on Luke as well, right? Because that's what Vlad does. He locks up Negroes.
No, Vlad does not lock Negroes up. Negroes allow themselves to be locked the fuck up because the black man doesn't know how to shut the fuck up anytime a camera is on him. He wants to perform and snitch on himself. And because every nigga needs to be Scarface, every nigga needs to be the black James Bond, every nigga needs to be that nigga. You know what I mean? Just be like Amarion. Amarion, that's a smiling motherfucker. Be like, nah, I didn't even hear that. Nah, really? Wow, that's amazing. God bless. I love Amarion in interviews, man.
Even though I see right through him.
He doesn't disclose. He don't disclose a fucking thing.
Marion has perfected Unbothered. And let me tell you, it's very sexy. It's very, that's how men should be. Take a hint from Omar. That's how men should be. Like, you just, okay. Right. Mm-hmm. And that's how you stay out of trouble, right? So you say it's the people that talk to Vlad. So you completely absolve Vlad?
Absolutely, I completely absolve Vlad because he's no different from any other white man who gave a black man an opportunity. So if he's a culture vulture, then you know, every white man that Jimmy Iovine is a culture vulture. Every white man that a black man has been under a record label is a fucking culture vulture. Every white man that any black man has got into business in the entertainment industry is a culture vulture. Period. And we have not had a problem with getting in business with these motherfuckers since the 1940s. So it is what it is. I mean, everybody's a culture vulture when the shit doesn't go in the direction that you wanted to go. No, he gave you a microphone. He gave you a platform. You were broke. Nobody knew who the fuck you were. And it is what it is. And these niggas wasn't out here podcasting like that before Vlad. Vlad showed these motherfuckers that you can make some money doing that shit.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's like only.
I'm not spitting any lies here. Please, someone correct me if I'm not spitting facts here. Sorry, Lily. Go ahead.
So what I was about to say is like, in addition to that, he gave them a microphone. Most of them were like out of work, no has-beens. They weren't on anyone's tongue, on the front of anyone's mind. And Vlad dug a lot of these people up, put them back on, gave them new life. It's like we could argue all day as whether he's a culture vulture, right? We can argue that all day, but what we could also argue is that he put them in a position because he has a hell of a platform. So he put them in a position. But what I noticed with a lot of these so-called rappers and entertainers have done with it, they were just happy with the attention that came from it. So it was only one person that tried to that pivoted, and they're actually still doing it, which was Lord Jamar. I don't follow him. I don't know how successful the pivot was, but he's still doing it, so it must be working because it's been about 2 or 3 years.
But you know, to your point, Lord Jamar, who was sitting down in their living room, bored, wondering what was going on in life, and thought to themselves, I wonder what Lord Jamar's doing. Wonder how he's feeling in life. No, Vlad gave this motherfucker a platform. Nobody give a fuck about no Lord Jamar. You know what I mean? Gave him a platform. He sat on his couch for a number of months. You know what I mean? Who else? The comedian, the Godfrey.
Godfrey, Face on Love.
Yeah, Face on Love. All these motherfuckers.
PCD.
They're off all of them. Ain't nobody was selling books, going to no fucking comedy shows, or doing none of this shit before Vlad gave these motherfuckers a platform to actually.
Because I bet you, if we would have named half these names we just named just now, without them going on Vlad, a lot of these people still wouldn't know who.
None of these motherfuckers would have made no fucking money.
Now does he
interview for Godfrey like that? He wasn't popping out here like that. Never.
Right now does he interview white criminals and white artists?
Yes, he does. That's the one thing they don't talk about. He interviewed a fucking mobster who came out with a book, damn near cinching on himself. He interviewed a number of white, mobsters out there. But black people don't, you know how black people when it is with the narratives. They don't mention that shit. I think he brought somebody up there who did business with white boy Rick, all that shit.
Okay. Right, but even if that is like, just to say that he didn't do white people and only dealt with black people, only do what you allow them to do,
and that's the whole point. That's the whole point. You see, this is why reality TV is bullshit. I tell people all the time, they can't edit anything that's not there. Anybody made up a video of you throwing water in somebody's fucking face, man.
True.
That's not AI, nigga. That's you.
Yeah, we ain't there yet. We ain't there yet.
With something.
Right. So, Haran, let's segue into the topic. Kari, stop in infantilizing black men. Okay. Kari said Vlad has interviewed mobsters, but after they did their time, he ain't asked them about new shit. He could ask a grown-ass man whatever he likes, and that man can decide whether or not he's going to answer it. Stop talking about, black men find the word boy insulting, yet they act like boys when they're around white men. If a white man asks you a question you don't want to answer, you say, next question, not answering that.
Whether he got a badge or not.
I'm not comfortable with disclosing that information. Or now my lawyers told me not to answer that question. Boom, boom, boom. It's just that simple.
It's simple.
He ain't even got a badge, but even if he did, you still ain't got to answer.
And also, you can't be, you can't, Ron, you said something earlier that was so fucking profound. It was the simplest shit. What was the fucking, was it an analogy that you gave earlier? That shit.
We were talking about
with that. And it also has something to do with Vlad as well.
Well, we were talking about desirable men basically having their pick of the litter. You know what I mean? They can get, top end women, and they can get women that the average guy, is stuck with. So they have access to everybody. But it constantly seems like men are angry with the women. It's like you can't be angry with the women. It's like if one guy only has access to all the food, like I said, if one guy has access to all the food in the goddamn refrigerator, you can't be mad at the cook. that guy has credentials you don't. So your beef is really with the guy. It's not really with the girl.
Right. So what men do, I love that example, because what men do is, instead of getting mad at the men who have all the options with whatever woman they want, they get mad at the women. They get mad at the options that those men have. They get mad at the women because they're afraid to compete with those men who can get any woman they want. Case in point, Lily and I started Sisterhood Sips. There's nothing but men on YouTube, and there's nothing but men on Instagram. I mean, they are imploding in the comments, and it's so hysterical because we don't know these men. We're not related to these men. We've never dated these men. We don't share children with these men. We don't set marriage, property, businesses with these men. And they are imploding in our comments, and it's really, really bad. I mean, they spend hours in there. Am I exaggerating?
Days,
Like I told this days too. I told this guy today, I said, do you realize that you've been here an hour now in these comments? You've been here an hour, though you don't know any of us personally, because a 1-minute clip made you flip. A 1-minute clip of a woman saying something in jest. Okay, it was in jest. Made you flip for an hour in these comments. So I ask you, the question tonight is, did men lose the gender war? I know if I won some shit, I have nothing else to say to the loser. That'd be kind of weird, right? If I'm at war with you, and mop the floor with you, I don't, why do I need to talk to you? Why am I in your comments? Why am I, you know what I mean, so upset? Why am I imploding when I hear you speak and see you? Why? If you want.
On one of the videos alone, we have over 200 and something comments. And my bestie called me right before we did this show, and they happened to run across all of that. And they was like, whoa, what is wrong with these men? Like, what is wrong? How did a 60-second clip turn into this? And then the things that they're saying have nothing to do with the clip. And I said, because they don't even see us. They don't even hear us. All they see and hear is who traumatized them way back, whether it was mommy, daycare provider, lady, candy lady, whoever. That's all they see. That's all they hear. And they also see and hear what Haran said is the fact that we have access to the men with options. Those things alone are just literally making them implode. It's a very interesting case study. I would not have known this many men like this or incels existed prior to doing this. I wouldn't.
So
look, man, I was on Twitter the other day, and me and my boys, we in the chat, and we looking at this fucking just this disgusting shit that happened. It was just 3 guys who were I'm just flat out come out and say it. It's 3 guys who were proud to be fucking house husbands. Over there sitting around kikiing, giving homemaker tips and shit like that. These dudes are soccer moms, and and they were proud.
Don't shame my future husbands.
They were proud. I'm gonna ask that motherfucker for a glass of lemonade every time I come over, and I'm gonna laugh.
That's fine. That's fine, but don't shame my future husbands.
Anyway, make sure he wipes his apron.
Sitting there, just kikiing and proud, and talking about how proud they are of their dominant and successful wife. And I said, this is a fucking travesty. These motherfuckers are either soccer moms or they're motherfuckers who are just getting no ass, period. What has happened to men?
Let me say this, Haran. Thank you, Tristan. Tristan said they lost because losers will always lose. That is a fact, right? Losers don't win, losers lose. Winners win. But let me say this, Haran. Devil's advocate. I give them a lot of credit, okay, for doing what comes natural to them, which is letting a woman lead. Okay, you know why? Because those 3 men that you're talking about are making lemonade and happy to be house husbands. They're not in our comments for 3 days straight telling us, you ain't gonna get married.
They're gonna be in there. Give it 6 months because they're gonna get cheated on. Ain't no fucking way in hell. And one of them is a doctor. One of them women is a doctor. Okay, so
they're obviously
at the hospital.
okay.
She at the hospital. You know what I mean? One of them young orderlies is coming in here. This motherfucker probably look like a young Blair Underwood. And she's
Okay, but see, Haran, I'm about to stop you here. I'm about to stop you. I'm about to stop you here. I'm about to stop you here because you know I love that you're a brute. You know that's one of the things I love the most about you, right? All right. So I got to give you the compliment before I just go ahead and slice and dice your whole thing. All right. So for me, okay, for Leland, all right, I prefer the man to be the breadwinner for many, many reasons. And there's a clip going viral where I spoke about that, and that's also making them hurt as well. Okay. But I also am realistic to know, what Tristan said, losers will always lose, right? So there's like, you are who you are. If you're a winner, you're going to be a winner. If you're a loser, you're going to be a loser. If you're mediocre, you're going to be a mediocre. It's just that simple. So that's why I named the three type of women as well. But I'm coming back to your point, Haran, because there was something in your point that I did agree with. There are three type of women. The woman who is well kept and her man is paying 100%,
okay,
the 50-50 woman, and the woman who's the breadwinner. Those are three different women. And you will be treated three different ways depending on which woman you can afford. Right? The problem is that every man wishes they or wants to be entitled to the woman who requires her man to pay 100%. But the other thing is they can only afford either the 50-50 or she's paying the whole thing. Now, like going back to your point, if she's paying 100%, yeah, you're gonna get bitched out, partner.
Absolutely.
You're gonna get bitched out.
Absolutely, man. Like, I mean, look, listen, man. One of them,
but they might be okay with it though.
Well, one of them is a male feminist. It's actually
okay.
disgusting.
So there's somebody for everybody.
Right. I agree. But again, I listen. Props to those men for understanding that they were built to submit to a woman.
Men,
you know why? Because those men are not. Wait a minute. Those men. We have enough. We have countless incels in our comments crying about what we say. Countless. There's no lack of them. They're like roaches when you pull a cabinet off of a project building wall. Okay. So let these three guys be the house husbands, be happy, and stay the fuck out of our comments because we have thousands of those roaches in our comments because they have not accepted the fact that they must submit to women. They're having a very difficult time. They're having the darndest time realizing that I must submit to a woman. They cannot lead. They cannot provide. And under those circumstances, if you are not a homosexual, then you must be prepared to submit to a woman.
It's just that simple. It's just that simple. That's the math. And that's how the math.
Man, in the chat, don't do it. It's the last bastion. I mean, if be single for the rest of your life, but I don't want to see any one of you go out like that. Even though I can't stand and nor care that much about any one of you, as a man, I don't want to see any one of you go out like that under the protection and the leadership of a woman.
But some of them like it.
I prefer that. Okay, Haran, I understand, but I prefer they do. Anything that will keep them off of social media acting like a bunch of man bitches, they should do. That's what I think.
Because you know what? When you're a house husband, you so damn busy, you ain't got time to be in the comments arguing with somebody.
Shit, man. I can't believe I survived the 80s to live through this shit, man. This is
it's a different world. It's a different world.
Fucking uncomfortable, man.
Okay, so look, tonight's topic, okay? And I swear, Lily, when you was laughing, I was laughing because I cracked my own self up with these thumbnails. Did men lose the gender war? That's the question tonight. Did men lose the gender war? On social media, we've seen them over the past year grifting, exposed, demonetized, and canceled. Okay? The creme de la creme. I mean, these motherfuckers have even been jailed. Okay, Andrew Tate was jailed. They've even been jailed. They've been knocked down from their ivory towers and their podiums. These motherfuckers have been exposed to have very unattractive, overweight wives. These motherfuckers have been exposed for not using their real names. These motherfuckers have been exposed for being in debt. These motherfuckers have been exposed for not practicing what they preach. They've been exposed. They've been demonetized. They've been canceled. Okay. They've had their whole lives spilled on social media. They've plateaued. Even the ones that got 1 million subscribers, the viewer count has diminished. Okay. Even their white knight leader, the burly bitch, she's plateaued. She got demonetized. Fresh and Fit got demonetized. So I'm asking the question tonight: did men lose the gender war on social media? Looks like they lost to me. I mean, they were way ahead. They were gaining. They were way ahead, making lots of money. Okay, destroying women in their chats and in their captions and in their 5-hour streams. They were destroying women, and now it looks like downhills for them. What do you guys think?
See, I said it all the time, man. This is what happens when you let these fucking nerds control the conversation. And I told people they're gonna fuck this shit up for every fucking body. This shit is unsustainable, man. I mean, you got this, you got these guys with this, they're roided up, they got beard dye on, they're yelling and spitting at the fucking camera. They're saying all this wild and crazy, just insane, impractical shit. You know what I mean? And just no man in the existence of time and space has ever 100% had the space to do 80% of the shit that those motherfuckers did. And that motherfucker completely fucking dangerous. I know there was some times when even Jen's dad, and this dude was who he was, there was times when he just walked off and left his mom talking. I'm pretty sure there was many a times that shit happened. You know what I mean? Because it's like, it's better not to fucking engage. Because it's just like, because it's just a fucking woman. You motherfuckers just want to sit, you want to entertain people who tell you to sit there and argue with these women, man. And this is where we are now, man. This is where we are. We're in a space right now where we're realizing that at the end of the day, after all those fucking arguments, all we have is a handful of shit and motherfuckers who literally are the same space that they were when they started, man.
So, do you remember even the ones with the ones that reminded me of the Batman villains were the most hilarious?
Oh
Like
yeah, I remember him. Yeah, I
they
remember
that they either had squeaky little like nerdy reject voices. They were here. This was the register of their voices, or they had the cigars hanging out their mouth. Yeah, let me tell you what nature women. Let me tell you, you gotta be alpha male. Like I was like, these guys are not real. These are caricatures of alpha males, right? For lack of a better term, these people cannot be real. However, men were very entertained by it. I thought it was really funny and pathetic. I was like, oh, no dad, huh? Okay. But I thought it was really sad.
Yeah, you know what? It's the thing is this, like the majority of them. Okay, I didn't like I said, I didn't realize that this many incels existed prior to social media. So all it really did was expose that, right? And it just showed you everything is really a numbers game at the end of the day. Everyone can't be a winner, like, or else there wouldn't be a word called winner. They don't understand that shit.
I have an issue with the fact that a lot of men are not embarrassed by the idea of being helped and assisted by a woman. I find that very embarrassing if I need help from a woman. I'll say it. You know what I mean? Like I said, I hearken the time when, I was telling Jen, like, yeah, my bank account got hacked. She wanted to send me money. I look at the phone like she was fucking crazy. Like, I'm not asking you for fucking money. I'm just sharing my plight at the fucking moment. I'm not. Why would I as a man ask you, a woman, for fucking money?
You didn't ask though. That's why I offered. Okay.
But you see, but that's the.
You
But
could have
even
fucking
the
took it. You could
offering
have
felt felt so uncomfortable because it was like, how dare you even offer me this, man? Like,
but you could have took it. and gave it right back. I knew you was good for it, homie. The fuck?
No, but it was just the fact that you offered was like, in what light do you see me in? If you can fix your mind and say, I'm gonna offer him some money, what makes you think that I'm gonna sit here and take that shit, man?
But you see, conditioning.
I was
Because I
just,
had men in the past who I had to go in my purse for conditioning.
Okay,
See?
okay. And my conditioning said, nah, you don't do that. No, you oh
and the other part of that is that Quran is there for you and I, and we are very reciprocal people. Like we're not like, oh, just do for me, do for me, do for me, do for me. It's like, no, I'm your friend, and this is what friends do. Period. Let's fuck is your problem, right?
Mhm.
At the same time, I understand
Yeah, it was gangster
because
stuff. I do understand because,
that's
like,
what I'm used to.
I don't put you in that category, Haran. However, I see men different in a sense of I feel. This is my opinion. I said all opinions are welcome tonight. I feel like a man can always get himself out of a bind without a woman's help. My opinion. Okay. I feel like you guys could sleep on a bench in a car and not worry about getting sexually assaulted or harassed or end up missing or chopped up, or you could crash at a friend's house. There's always a cousin. There's always a way that a man could hold his own, hold down, hold himself down without a woman's help. That is my opinion. But I don't put you in that category. It's just what Lily said. Like, we're family, so if somebody needs something, I don't give a fuck. I
I
know you.
appreciate that.
You know what I mean? That's how I felt. Like I wasn't even thinking about that. You know what I mean? I have dealt with certain men who completely dried me up because I was in a relationship with them,
Right.
and they didn't care for me to see them in the most horrible like state. And I know people say, "Well, you love somebody, like you should be at your most vulnerable." But like Lily said, they're how you want things to be, and then how things are, right? And women, I'm going to say it over and over and over again, women are fucking transactional. And as soon as it looks like you're not good for that transaction, we start feeling a ways. We get antsy, we get nervous, right? So when a man shows you that, like, hey, I can't hold us down, women get kind of,
No, it's because it's your biological imperative kicking in. Like, so here's the thing. I was watching Louis C.K. He had this show called Louis back in the days. You know what I mean? It was actually very funny. And I'm gonna explain to you real quick a particular scene. He's with his date, or whatever, and they're at some Chinese spot, I don't know, and some kids come in. Some kids come in on some hood shit, and they punk him in front of his date. But he acts very mature in the manner, and he acts very, as one would say, I guess, PC or evolved or whatever it is that it was, right? And after the dudes leave from punking him, they continue with her date with the date, and the woman says, "I'm sorry, but you just acted in a very mature manner, in an absolute grown-up fashion. But I do not see you as a man right now."
That's funny.
She said, "I don't see you as a man right now." He was like, "No." He was like, "But what do you want me to do? Kick their ass?" And she said, "Or get my ass kicked?" And she was like, "Yeah, kinda." She was like, "Kinda. I wanted you to grab this guy by the fucking neck." You know what I mean? And that was, and that joke that he was basically saying was that you could talk all that PC shit you want. We are primal at the end of the day, man. There's something in the back of your fucking brain as a woman that says, this guy can't protect me.
Right. And you know what? I will concede. I said all opinions are welcome tonight. There's a doozy. Did men lose the social media gender war? I say they lost and lost bad. However, I will concede to what Bob Dole says. Absolutely. Rejects lost the gender war. 100%. Because this is still a man's world at the end of the day. This is still a man's world, okay? All businesses on the planet are predominantly ran by men. Government is disproportionately male. I get it. I can see to what you're saying, Bob Dole, but absolutely the rejects lost the gender war because they're losers and losers lose. And a lot of the people that cammed up on YouTube to lead the Incelius Maximus population, okay, all the Incelius Maximus population, they did lose and they lost hard, okay? They got demonetized, they got canceled, they got taken down, they plateaued, people got bored of them, people got bored of sending them super chats. By the way, you can send me a super chat. They got bored of sending super chats and not getting, and there's no ROI, right? There's no ROI. And you, how many times you even, and this is on the female side too. Yeah, I call women females, get over it. On the female side too, because Cynthia G got demonetized as well. So really none of this is sustainable. And the problem is that on the woman's side and on the men's side, there weren't any real stars. There weren't really anyone that were personal. There wasn't really anyone that was attractive and genuine, right? There was a sprinkle of attractive women here and there, but them bitches weren't genuine. They were either pandering to women or pandering to men, all the while fucking on a dude that was a pookie themselves, or having children with someone that was a pookie themselves, okay? Or completely single and not giving a fuck about men, but acting like they cater to men. And that is not sustainable. The fake and the phony is not sustainable. So we've seen some women fall and we've seen some men fall, but I will agree the rejects lost the gender war. The rejects lost the gender war. Absolutely.
I think that they were allowed to control the conversation. And by that happening, they threw all of us in the same fucking pool. Like, I'm not in the same pool as some motherfucker who voice is like, yeah, like his shit is up here. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's chicken chested. He's complaining every fucking 5 minutes. Him and I aren't in the same space. Again, this is the illusion of access. And yeah, are we on the same social media platforms? Are we in the same, maybe even in the same air, on the same sites or whatever? Absolutely. But would him and I actually converse or have something to talk to if he was next door? Absolutely fucking not. Absolutely fucking not. We just by appearance alone, we look at each other and be like, nah, it's just nothing we have to fucking talk about.
But it goes back to what you said too, that the illusion of access and the illusion of inclusion. And I said over and over again, none of you in Andrew Tate's chat would sit with him while he's eating his fucking filet mignon sprinkled with 24 karat gold, okay, and drinking his $5,000 bottle of wine. None of you would be sitting there. It was an illusion.
Private with Andrew Tate. You're not flying private with Andrew Tate, homie. I don't care how many of these seminars that you went to. A guy like you know what I mean, is not flying, you know.
He looks at his own people as incels. He looks at his own chat as incels. He looks at them as a means to an end.
Yeah, he says it all the time. That's it. Even when he was sending pretend ass, he was selling pretend ass online, men were manning those phone lines. That's how much he gave a fuck about these men. He had men acting like they were women, seducing men out of their money. Tristan, you silly. Tristan said, "No, fuck that. I lost my wallet. I called Ghost to save my ass. I don't care. Laugh myself. First of all, you the little brother, so that's fine.
It's a little different, Tristan.
That's different. You the little brother.
Fahim always coming with the jewels, with the gems.
Oh, Fahim dropped something for us?
He always dropping a gem. Okay. Fahim's gems.
Adam Hearn stupid. He said Haran's the type to harass a man sleeping on a park bench.
He is a horrible person.
That's the God, Papa. Where's Fahim? Fahim always dropping something. Fahim need to write a book. What's up, POP? Fahim Jackson, thank you for the super chat on a Saturday night. Fahim Jackson says, Jen, you said you dated guys who had no problem with you seeing him at his lowest. That's from seeing mom holding it down. Without an image of masculinity, he takes longer to grow or don't grow at all.
I definitely can see how that can make a difference. it doesn't have to be because we don't have to be the product of our environment, right? But
Mhm.
it can play a factor in things and stuff like that. So
Do you think
yeah.
the psyche of men is weaker than the psyche of women?
Oh,
Is it
I've said that
easier
since I was a
between
kid. Women are like a superpower or something. Like I've been saying that. I knew that since I was a kid. Um,
Uh, yes and no.
I'm gonna have to, okay. What's your disagreement on that? Because I definitely agree that women's like it.
It's like saying,
the God Papa? Yeah, you could call in. I just dropped the StreamYard link.
it's
Good.
like saying, you know, men can handle rejection more than women. Yeah, when it comes to like, you know, shooting your shot or whatever, because we're in those positions more so to get rejected. So we're conditioned to let the word no roll off our shoulder. When it comes to women going through hardship, especially black women going through hardship and shit like that, that's very it's very common. You know what I mean? You have past of rape, sexual sexual assault, being sold, having your stomachs cut open and children being ripped out. So the idea, it's like also with women when they get their heart broken, y'all kind of get over it by lunchtime because it's a common thing for y'all. For men, the idea of being heartbroken, losing and shit like that, that shit hits hard. And motherfuckers, you know what I mean? Well, look, some motherfuckers never come back from it.
So then
And
you're not better at rejection.
well, no, we're good at rejection, just not as good at losing. Losing and
Is
rejection
that the
is
same thing?
Tomato, tomato, tomato.
no, it's not tomato.
It
Losing
is
and
very
rejection
tomato.
are the same thing. No, it's not tomato. Losing and
Tomato,
rejection
tomato,
are both are
Tomato.
not the
tomato,
same.
tomato,
What's up?
tomato, tomato.
No, nothing.
It's
It's a
got to be a
tomato.
tomato.
It's a tomato. That's it. It's
Come
a
come
tomato.
on. All right. So what about? Hold on now. God
Because
damn
yeah,
it.
I got strong pushbacks on this.
Okay. What about sir? What about men who are rejected and then murder people?
Well, let me clean this up. The
You have a
men
whole
that
ID channel.
the
I'll
men
say
that I used to, the men that I grew up with, the men that I'm used to being around, we handled rejection a little bit better than the men that's running around now. These motherfuckers are shooting people. They're killing women. They're shooting everyone because of rejection. So they have a lot of what's the word? Just a lot of emotional insecurity and immaturity going on. So I will double back on that and saying that I might be speaking from a blind spot.
Okay, so you just took that was my pushback. You took it. Because this is a different male today.
Right.
This is a totally different male. This is not
Sometimes
my dad.
I have to remind myself that. I was
Yeah.
reminded again by the soccer mom motherfuckers who were online yesterday.
leave them soccer moms alone. Um, the, you have a noise going on in your background. You have noise going on in your background. It's too loud.
Can you hear us?
You talking about me?
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
you. Noise
I have
going
a
on.
no.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's noise going on in the background.
that was probably the other laptop or the other. Yeah, the other laptop.
Mhm.
Yeah, we can hear everything.
Let me slide. Let me slide.
Okay.
Peace, kings and queens.
Peace.
Okay, yeah, I had to slide back a little bit. Pardon y'all, I was cooking and cleaning and all that. How y'all doing this evening?
We're doing really
Wonderful.
good. How are you?
Hey man, I'm trying to survive and stay alive. Y'all already know.
Good, good. We can still hear your TV or another laptop. Can you mute it?
Uh, my
We're still.
aunt is over here. Okay, hold
Huh?
up. Let me limit. Let me try to limit. Let me try to limit the frequency. All right, we Gucci right now.
Yeah, that's fine. Yep.
Okay, there we go. Hey, peace.
Hello, hello.
How you doing? Hey, shout out to you for sending me that red and black, man. That joint is flavor.
Okay, you got it. All right.
That joint was flavor. I was like looking at that. I say, nah, I need to run down on that. Yeah, I need that in my life. Hey, salute to the
The
God.
125,
Salute, Jen.
is it the 125th and Wealthy outlet?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Remember, because I had to hit you back on that. I was looking at that
Yeah.
like, that is, yeah, that's 100 right there, y'all. How y'all doing this evening?
Awesome.
I was just trying to, I be peeping y'all Jews. Y'all be coming through 100, and everybody is not real pill like they say they are. A lot of them, they do and say certain things because they got a lot of insecurities within self. You see what I'm saying? And you shouldn't start to projecting all that when they don't peep the whole circumference. A lot of them be built on certain ways of how they were raised. You see what I'm saying? And they don't have a thought process. A lot of them got a caveman mentality. I don't know if y'all ever peeped some of my posts that I put up, but they got a caveman mentality. And I mean, they get to fall back because they never look at the whole full circumference of what people go through and how people project themselves and the thought process and the perception of what they're going to say before they project it. So I try to give them a lane, try to give them a little perspective, but they're going to look at you three individuals like y'all are haters and y'all are not on point. I be looking at them like, man, let me get this hater repellent and start because you got to. No disrespect. I'm not trying to kill them. I'm just trying to sprinkle a little something so they can get familiar with how it really is out here. And a lot of them are still moving and thriving as to how they've been moving in accordance to how they were raised. But I'm like, no, you got to have an open mind out here. It's not a good look. It's not a good look.
Right.
At the end of
Adam Hearn, we ain't Vlad TV. Snitches get stitches over here.
Man. Hey, before I start obtaining, knowledge of self and getting into the intuition of how life really is. First of all, I'm 52 years old. I may not look like it. You probably see the little salt and peppers and all that, but I've been through some things, just like all three of y'all. Y'all seen some things and been through some things. But you still got to come out here and be like, either you say something about it or you just let it cook. Everything don't deserve to end up in the pot. You see what I'm saying? It's not for us. You see what I'm saying? It's not that. Even with YB Limited, I'm gonna tell you something. My man, first of all, Paul Thompson. I used to live in East New York, Brooklyn. I am in Washington, D.C. right now. I am in the belly of the beast. I hear it all day. I go through it with the labyrinths of the residents, and I go through it with the labyrinths and the slaves, of how they operate on Capitol Hill. It's all a fun and game, chess, not checkers type of thing out here. But at the end of the day, you have to fall back and be like, look, we don't really move like that. You absorb, and it's up to the individual how they intake the content and how you manifest it and have a perspective on how you're going to deliver it when you give it back out
there. Now, are you Red Pill or Manosphere, or do you have any guys that you watch online?
I'm going to tell you something. I peep Myron and the rest of them cats, all these male joints. I'm going to tell you something. Myron, I talk to son. My issue with him is that, look, at the end of the day, you got a caveman mentality. And then you inviting all these young females on there. They haven't had a chance to experience life. You see what I'm saying? Life. So you can't go down and run down. Check this out. You ever notice the age left or how they look on the type of females that they invite on those shows? When you went on there, Miss Jennifer, and I say Miss because out of no disrespect, I don't know. I'm gonna call you. Okay, all right, just Jen.
Yeah.
When you went on that, I'm gonna tell you what put me on to you. I was peeping their so-called Jews that they was running down. But what got me was like, okay, at the end of the day, your delivery was like uber disrespectful. Because you're not dropping a Jew. You're belittling women, and you're trying to put a Jew on top of that. That doesn't cook in the kitchen. That's not a good look. If you're going to invite young women on there, I don't care if you got millions of dollars. I'd rather have millions of Jews than the millions of dollars. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't add up. And then look at the content that you're pulling on, and then you got cats back there. You can't build with nobody that's constantly drinking Henny, constantly got cups passing around. Put me in a site with a bunch of people that's sober, so we can really build up. You see what I'm saying? And when you were on there, I was like, boy, she getting this joint whipping. She whipping like she got a trap going on. But
I
they
think it was the
could.
best show they had in a long time. If
You see what
ever.
I'm saying? Yeah, but this what got me. Oh, see, most men gotta recognize and realize. Hey, salute to the God down there in the right hand corner. You drop jewels, family. You be dropping jewels, and they get mad offended when somebody that's yourself and I have something to viably say. We don't take sides. We stick to the truth wave. When you were on there, Miss Jen, they couldn't handle it. Let's keep it a buck. They could not handle it because they were like, a woman came on here and she really had something to say that resonates. It resonated. You see what I'm saying? So I don't think you peeped it. They were saying that little slickety, people say slickety shit. New Yorkers know about all that. They say little snickety shit after you peel off. You see what I'm
Lickety.
saying?
Mhm.
Yeah, they say little snickety slickety shit. You know what I'm saying? Because, everybody who not built, they're not on their way. Let me get back on topic. There are people in this world who think they know everything about some things and end up knowing nothing. Nothing. Because you could be on air, you can have all the salt and pepper like I got around the world, and you could talk a lot about something that you say that are nothing. Just because you are a millionaire does not mean your Jews are viable. That is from your perspective. You know what I'm saying? You can't live like that. That's not helping the circumference. You see what I'm saying? You got to be out here looking out for the babies. Everybody got something to say, but they ain't saying nothing about the babies. You ain't putting no Jews in them babies' heads, but you too busy inviting all these chicks who went through half-ass issues that they haven't completely grown yet to experience and learn from. They're not talking to females who learned some things. Even when you make mistakes, we all make mistakes on planet Earth. We all make them. But learning experiences and nothing but L's. This is what my pops told me. L's ain't nothing but lessons. You're not taking a loss. You're not a loser. We
Did
all
you
gonna make mistakes.
did you I forgot. Did you answer are you into anything that comes from the red pill or the manosphere? Do you like any of those guys?
Do I co-sign anything that they said? That's
Adam
what.
Hearn. Yep. Yep. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
All right. They have minimal Jews on there, but this is what throws their message off. When
Mhm.
you are talking to women and you're trying to build with them from your perspective, you lose the point of your point and the thought when you're just bashing and disrespect their response. That doesn't fly and it does not work. You can't go on there talking about, oh, yeah, just because I got a million, oh, I can sleep with mad chicks, but she's at home and she's going to be with me only. That's asinine. That doesn't make sense. A real queen gonna ride for her king. And a real king is not gonna have multiple women, and he's not gonna have a stable. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to have a stable. It doesn't make sense. Patience and loyalty is strong. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. You know what I'm saying? I'm from DC. I'm worldwide. But they could say all day. But I be looking at these cats like you were teeter-tottering on one good point until your message got lost in the sauce because you thought whatever she was trying to say, because I peeped him when he was talking to you.
Mhm.
They were trying to cook you. And I was
Mhm.
laughing. I was like, boy, the more clips she unload, the more they were trying to unload. As soon as she unloaded one big clip, they tried to pull out the bird bazooka. Doesn't fly like that. Real G's go to the table when you got real women in front of them. They got insecure and afraid when you stepped up there. I was loving it. I
Yeah, but
was loving it.
yeah, they talk a certain way. Like they're not, if anybody's looking for something that's fair or sound or makes sense or is good for the future and the children, it's definitely not these cats. Like these cats are, you know, what is it, snake oil salesmen. They thought
Facts.
about making money very, very quickly, and easy come, easy
Facts.
go, right? Easy come, easy go.
Facts.
They're
And
new
there's
money
a
they're making.
pardon. I don't mean to interrupt you. Continue, Queen.
Yeah, they make six figures very, very quickly and they're spending it, right? Now they got to show people they got money. So they own the private jets and they in the cars and they running around in the clubs and that costs money. All of that costs money. And then when they plateau and nobody cares anymore and they're demonetized or canceled, they lose that boss, that boss luster, the shine that they had. And then people move on because losers do lose. Losers lose, right? No matter where they go,
Yeah.
whether they're in our chat complaining, whether they're in Andrew Tate's chat cheering. That's it. And I was
Facts.
telling these cats earlier in our chat, I was telling these cats earlier on Instagram, you do realize when we both calm down, I still go back to a great life, in my opinion, and you still go back to being mad.
Facts. But why would you want to deal with them and go back to being? See, I never got offended by what people say. I used to because you're used to dealing with the perspective of how you manifest things in your mind state and how you've been living throughout your own life. A lot of those cats, they're not built like that. As soon as they start getting money and monetized, they think their money says that their word says goes. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. Like, come on, fam. The more money you get, you should be dealing with a lot more people. The private jets, the caviar, the filet mignon. Like, come on, man. Really? Now what? Because none of let me tell you something. My pops always told me, private jets and filet mignon don't mean shit when you sit at the table. It don't mean nothing. Because they can't speak for you. They can't. The jewelry is looking mad fugazi with them cats.
Not the
It
jury.
look it look fugazi. So when you step to them, see, I'm gonna tell you something. I used to live in Miami. You know what I'm saying? I used to live in Miami. I lived all over that piece. I dealt with a lot of dudes, females, not sexually. I'm talking about emotionally and intellectually, spiritually, trying to see what they had at. Because I'm a Virgo, born on Friday the 13th, 1971. Everybody is not built to go to the table, but they got a lot of say before they get to the table. And they could talk that table wave all day. You know what I'm saying? Not belittling anybody. But it's like, come on, man. If you're going to come correct, like AZ the God say, come correct. Or fall back and go get me some charcoal. so we can stay cooking.
So what do you think about all of them? There's so many of them that are either dead, actually, quite honestly. I think it's two of them that are dead, two or three that are dead. Others are demonetized, others got canceled, or they got their channels taken from them. I think one of them idiots, somebody bought his name and he can no longer come up using his name because someone trademarked his name. So what do you think
the
their
thing. I'm gonna tell you something. YouTube is going hard right now because first of all, there's too many reaction videos. They gotta go. They gotta go. Everything is too opinionated from people who haven't really lived those lives.
And
So I'm saying,
reaction videos are they use no imagination, number one, and they're using
right,
other people's content to make their content. So yeah, they gotta go.
right. This has became the copy and paste age. Oh, and everybody, my opinion don't matter. I don't care what they say. I put it on YouTube, and you ain't got to agree with me. I'm gonna get paid anyway. So that's how you moving right now. Like really, that's how you moving right now.
They said
Okay, now,
they even taken down channels that, you know how they say a certain, and they've done that with my pictures before.
yeah,
They say something in the caption, and what you said in the
uh-huh.
caption has nothing to do with the video. They starting to take those down too. So if you say something like, "Oh, Jennifer Lopez slaps Ben Affleck," and then the video is some reaction video or some podcast, are they starting to take those channels down too?
Yeah, I mean, YouTube is doing that because it's a constant wave of clutter going on. Now, YouTube got servers all around the country. Those servers can only hold so much info. And YouTube is like, look, we're not going to just keep paying everybody for your opinion. You're not going to do it. Clear Channel didn't do it back in the day when they had Americast and all that. They didn't do it for everybody. You know what they was doing? They was chopping everybody off. It wasn't about what they was putting up. It was about what they was putting out. They
And
don't people.
YouTube has
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
corporate. YouTube has gone corporate and is becoming the new television. That's another reason why they are trimming down the fat. Because
Facts.
this is going to be the new television. Like, so yeah,
Right.
they got.
YouTube is the new cable TV. That's why a lot of these channels right now are in all of the streaming services. They're dropping their prices on the streaming services fee because it's easy money. Google know what they're doing. Now, with y'all, I'm telling y'all, keep doing what you're doing. You're independent and your Jews is piercing people's feelings. Keep piercing them. If they get emotional, so charge it to the game. Charge it to the game of emotion. I got an emotional black card, swipe it. And if they hit on you, you know what you do? This is what I told you earlier. Remember you read my text? I'm going to tell you something. I keep gallons of hater repellent. Gallons of hater repellent. And when I spray them, I'm not trying to kill you or shut you down. I want you to eat, but I want you to recognize and realize you don't run this. You just speaking. You speaking from feelings. Okay, I got you. Well, we're going to grade the whole spectrum. We're going to grade the whole spectrum.
Do you think Black people made social media ghetto?
Some. I'm not going to say all. Because there are certain channels on there I actually learned stuff off. I learned how to live off the grid. I learned how to make fire and water. I used to be a Boy Scout, Cub Scout. There's certain things on YouTube that you can actually learn something from. You can learn some things, and then there's just certain people on there going on there and be like, you know what, I'm just trying to get a bag. A bad day on YouTube is what, 80 grand a month? A bad day? Okay, so you're fishing for that bag day. What's your content looking like? See, I don't have a channel. I just like to fall back. I be the dude up in the booth. Like, man, this joint is hilarious. But I'm not going to shoot darts at everything that I don't agree with. It's unfair because I don't think like everybody else. We all got our own different perspectives and perceptions in life. That's just life.
And then
And a lot of people. Go ahead, man.
I was just saying, there's a way to disagree where you're not coming from a place of trauma and hurt and vitriol and anger toward a person that you've never met who you don't know, and they're just stating their opinion.
Facts.
No matter how the delivery is, right? They're just stating their opinion. Their one little lonely opinion should not affect
Facts.
your life so much, and really, it doesn't. It shows that your life has already been affected, and that this opinion is just opening up that unhealed wound.
This is my thing. Why I never understood this, and it took me years to understand this. You cannot always get upset with somebody because they have a different perspective on what you say. That's life. And it takes years to grow into that. You know what I'm saying? You can't just always walk up to somebody and say, I don't agree with you. Man, we got to smack him. Matter of fact, hey, yo, because I don't like him because of what he said. That's foul. You can't do that because we all got our own different individual cerebellums. We all process things different. You see what I'm saying? We all process things differently. You just look at it and be like, okay, no doubt. Like, remember what Cam used to say? Okay, you're right. Okay, you're right. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to prolong it into an argument because the message and the positivity of the message and the sensibility of it gets lost in the sauce due to emotion. That's the problem with a lot of people out here. We're too emotional. We're too emotional. We speaking on emotional instead of logic. Let's be logical
So,
out here.
so question: why do you think the black channels that are ghetto have become the forefront and the representation of the black community? Because for a long period of time, those have been the most viewed and watched shows and content on social media. Why do you feel that is the case?
3 words. It makes money.
So that
YouTube ain't
comes.
YouTube ain't
Okay.
mommy. Yeah, bust it. It makes money. YouTube ain't mommy and daddy. YouTube trying to get paid. Actually, YouTube is trying to Google runs YouTube. Everybody ain't familiar with that. Google runs YouTube. So they can mask anything, they could suppress it, they could trip the algorithm and all that. I had to go through a lot of stuff when I was on YouTube. I said, you know what? I had to check my perspective on what I'm looking at. So I had to start deleting or starting respectfully. I had to start deleting or just hit the little because you got samples when you scroll down. You're gonna have share. Is this interesting? Report. Not interested. I hear a lot of not interested because respectfully, a lot of that stuff is just not. You can some of the stuff you can see on YouTube. You can tell me like, come on, man, this cat is just trying to make money. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? They have no monetary or no inspirational or type of any type of response that's going to be like, maybe I can learn or I can get something out of this jewel. A lot of them don't. They just post it. Everything is post period send. Upload post period send. It's a money
Very.
game right here. Cap.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, that's the point of view everybody wants to come for. Oh, these people are doing this and these people are doing that. Well, they're just trying to make their coins, and that's not race specific at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
And then it has become it has become an exploitation game. Like the truth doesn't even matter out here no more. And it's a shame and it's embarrassing because a lot of people are so conditioned to believe in the first thing that pops up on the screen. You know what I'm saying? So they're going to stay on top of people like that. Oh, the algorithm is going to say, oh, you like this? They don't care if you get it. And then there's not YouTube and Google's responsibility or how we manifest information. All they're concerned about is getting a bag. As long as them streams and everything and those views get the money, that's all they focus on. YouTube is making sure that the content creators or so-called content creators send stuff to them so they can keep rotating. Information is the bag out here. Attention is the new currency. It's the current currency out here. That's why you can look on here. I've seen certain stuff on YouTube, and I'm like, why? Why would somebody post somebody getting murdered or something getting popped off? And then 9 times out of 10, who is it? It's our black and brown people. You got pastors on here choking out people on live and all that. You got people getting robbed. You know, really, this is what our society has succumbed to in the digital era. I miss the day when there was no internet, where you had to come on the block and you had to get out there and you had to make things happen. You had to get out there, and the OGs used to tell us, no, don't be catcalling. You don't know her. You know better. My mom's been up be screaming out the window like, are you kidding me? Don't be doing that. But the bag chase has become so, how can I put this? Thirst mode, like the thirst mode has gotten so bad that it's like, oh my goodness. My mom, God bless her soul, she's back in the essence. She should be like, baby, please, please turn the internet off.
Mhm.
Go outside and talk. Go outside and talk to the elders. And I used to do that.
Yeah,
My father, he said,
it's
"Go ahead,
funny
man."
because adult males need to go outside and get away from the internet. So before we close, guys, chat. Let me know. Did men lose the social media gender war? Did men lose the social media gender war? Let me know in the chat what you think. Okay, I'm very curious to hear what you think because again, a lot of them are being demonetized. A lot of their channels are being taken down. Okay, a lot of them are plateaued. A lot of them are also grifting. I said the other day they're gonna have to turn into restaurant reviewers because there's no way out, right? That whole thing, spending 5 hours bashing women, it got old. It wasn't sustainable. These guys are desperate now. They don't know what to do. They're all running Rumble. Well, I heard Rumble got something for them too. So what do you guys think? Did men lose the social media gender war? I want to have closing statements from Lily and Haran, and then we will close. Don't forget you can super chat me right now or Cash App on the Block with Jen if you enjoyed content. Don't forget Sisterhood Sips. Every Sunday, our page is popping. We just got 100 new followers, Lily, while we were sitting here on Sisterhood Sips. So it's really popping over there.
Salute,
Um,
salute, salute.
thank you. Thank you
We
so much.
trying to get you 100. We trying to get you 100 more. We trying to
Yeah.
get real people on to y'all, man. Y'all are genuine. That's why I started dealing with y'all. I said, finally, there are some genuine human beings on here that are really dropping jewelry, real jewelry,
Thank you. Well,
mental jewels.
I got a drill. I'm gonna leave it with the jolt.
Okay,
Um,
thank you. Black Lexicon says, yes, they did lose the gender war. Adam Hearn says, social media is a grift. Uh, Jack Faber says, look it up, fool of the evil. Thank you, POP, for the congrats. Lily, Haran, what you got so we can get out of here?
Go ahead, Lily.
well, short answer to the question is males lost, men never participated in gender wars.
Ooh, I love that. Okay, thank you, because every time I ask somebody, do you know who the fuck is that? Why are they arguing over body count? Who the fuck they got him? Yeah.
I mean, I was pretty much about to say the same thing. I was never at war with anybody. I ain't got no kind of time for that, man. But I will say this: um, a lot of men need to really rethink about the landscape that is currently out there. It's a new woman out there. Women are sharks. They done smelled blood, and they're not going back to the 1950s. That shit's not happening. You know what I mean? They've got a whiff of their independence, so we got to rethink some certain things. And as I've said to you gentlemen before, women are sharks, and the only thing a fucking shark respects is a fucking ochre.
All right, and
That
orca
was
happens
great.
to be my favorite sea animal. All right, guys, so we are out of here. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget on the Block with Jen, support this show. Cash App your girl, buy her a smoothie. We will see you on Monday. Yeah, Monday. Please follow all our social media. Check out Sister Sister. The comment section is fuego. These dudes will not leave us alone. We got Encelius Maximus disease going on in our comments over there. It is wild. These dudes spend all day in our comments. Thank you to Papa for coming up. Chat, thank you for holding us down. We will see you on Monday. Good night.
We
Hit that
got
like
y'all.
on
Peace
your
and
way out.
love. We got y'all.
Peace and love. Hit that like and subscribe on your way out the door for Mama. Thank you for joining us on this Saturday night. And also, if you have a topic suggestion, hit me on the block with Jen at Gmail. We'll take your topic suggestions. Stay out of there, though, for the romance shit. I'm good. I'm cool. Okay? All right, guys. Good night. Adam Hurst said dolphins. No.